All right, today we are going to be making chicken and kale casserole. Easy dish, healthy, lots of good vitamins, protein, vegetables, lots of good stuff in here. So let's get started on making our chicken and kale casserole. Okay, so let's get started. So for this recipe, you're going to need some chicken. I just went and bought a rotisserie chicken. I'm going to take that off the bone. So much easier than dicing and shredding, boiling chicken. So chicken. You're also going to need some whole grain pasta. The recipe actually calls for those little shell pasta. I couldn't find any whole grain shell pasta, so I got the little bow ties, so we're going to be fancy. You're also going to need some kale. My husband bought some frozen kale a couple weeks ago, I guess, wasn't it, babe? And so I decided to use this instead of fresh because I need to use this up. You're going to need some mozzarella cheese. I use Sargento. I like that. It's really good. Some parsley, some lemon zest, some Parmesan cheese, some minced garlic, a large yellow onion, some ricotta cheese. Then we're also going to be using some butter. I don't have that out here. Salt and pepper and olive oil. So let's get this all together and we'll get started. Alright, I have cooked the pasta as according to the package. I've drained it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some olive oil in here. My pan is still hot. Some butter. This is unsalted, all natural butter. And I'm going to get this melted down. Heat down just a tad here, because that is heating pretty fast because I took it right out of the, I moved it right from when I had the pasta in it. Alright, then what we're going to do is we're going to add our onions. So we diced our onion. I mean, when you put butter, olive oil, onions, and now I'm about to hit this with a little bit of garlic. I mean, how can you go wrong with a recipe like that? I like a lot of garlic, so. And as usual, I buy the already chopped, pre-minced garlic. It's just faster. Alright, so what we're going to do is we want these onions to get nice and soft. Well, my oven has preheated to 350. That was a nice little segue. So make sure your oven's preheated to 350 degrees so that we can cook our casserole. Now with the pasta, what I did was I cooked it just right below al dente because it's going to cook a little bit more in the casserole dish, so you don't want to get it too soggy once you get it cooked and boiled in the water. So just a note about that. Alright, I'm going to let these onions cook down just a little bit and then we'll be back to switch out for the next step. Okay, our onions have cooked down. They're nice and soft. Now this is where you're going to add your kale. Now you can use fresh kale. Like I said, I happen to have frozen kale and I want to use it, so I'm going to use this whole bag. I think this is about 1.5 pounds. No, it's just 1 pound. So use as much as you like. You're going to want it to cook down. Yours is probably going to cook down a lot faster if it's not frozen. But we're going to give this a good stir. We want to get all that awesome butter, olive oil, onion and garlic mixture on here. And to help it cook down, I'm going to cover this. And I'm going to let it cook for about 5 minutes or so. Well, yours will probably take about 5 minutes if you use fresh. Since mine's frozen, it might take a little bit longer. So I'm going to cover this, let it cook, and we'll be back. Okay, so the kale is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the kale to the pasta. And yes, that'd be great if you could hold the pot, babe. You got it?
Yeah.
Let's turn it this way. Wow, how many people does it take to empty out a bowl? Apparently 2 in this house. It's just hard to get the camera angle. It's just kind of a weird thing. Okay. So, we've added our kale to our pasta. Now we're just gonna send everything into the bowl. There's our chicken. Lemon zest. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the juice of the lemon. Thought that might be kind of nice. Wake it up a little bit. We're gonna add our ricotta cheese. This is 32 ounces. So that's gonna really blend it together, let me tell you what. And I have some more stuff I need to add. I'm just trying to get this kind of down a little bit. Alright, let's add some more stuff. We're going to add some parsley. A little bit more. It's not coming out very well. Some salt. Some pepper. I need to get some of that fresh ground pepper stuff, but whatever. Mozzarella cheese. I'm going to save some of this to put on the top. Parmesan cheese. Alright. And I'm going to get this all mixed up. So, give me a little bit to get this all mixed up and we'll be back for the next step. Alright, so I got it mixed up and I've got it in a nice casserole dish. I'm going to take the rest of my mozzarella cheese and just liberally sprinkle over the dish. Alright, and then just to kind of make it look pretty, a little bit more of some parsley sprinkled over. If you have fresh parsley, that's awesome. Mine's not coming out very well because it's dried. Alright, so as I said earlier, your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to let this cook in the oven for 30 minutes so that it gets nice and golden brown and cooks all the way through. And we'll be back when it's done. Okay, here's our casserole right out of the oven. Chicken and kale casserole. I'm going to let it cool down. Looks really good. You know, if you wanted to use spinach instead of kale, you could definitely do that. But here it is. It smells really great. We're going to let it cool down and have it for lunch and dinner tomorrow. It's too late to eat tonight, but here you go. Healthy meal that you can try. And don't forget to give a thumbs up, like, or subscribe. See y'all next time.